YouTube, it's Tone. I'm back with another one for you. And so this one here, this little document is a good one to include uh, with any case that you have involving an officer that stopped you for whatever reason while you were traveling privately, or even take the concept and tailor it to whatever situation that's going on with you. Because when you start to enter these truth affidavits, what's happening is you're putting the courts in a position to have to rebut it, right? And then so what you're doing is putting them into a position where they have to address your actual private rights within which they're not able to do. So when they can't rebut certain points on any affidavit, the whole affidavit is going to stand as truth. So in these affidavits, you're going to want to include any of your remedy, to include your fee schedule and things like that too, as to how much you're going to be charging these trespassers for each and every violation per person. You know what I'm saying? So include that in your truth affidavit, what it is that actually happened there, you being a private person, and how your rights were violated, which rights were violated, and how much you're going to be charging them for that. You know what I mean? Always and only include points that they cannot argue, that they cannot rebut. Even if they can rebut one or two, that's not enough. They have to rebut every single point. So if they want to rebut anything, they have to freaking address it all, and they're probably not going to. Right? They're gonna end up just telling you to have a nice day. So what this says here is truth affidavit. In the nature of supplemental rules for administrative and maritime claims rule, in commerce, everything must be stated in truth. The power of attorney, in fact, a national, a private person, a living soul, a creditor, claimant, and secure party, and not a statutory person upon the land, Texas, Republic, in the county called whatever it may be, do hereby solemnly declare, say, and state, secured party is competent for stating the matters set forth herewith. Secured party has personal knowledge about the facts stated herein. Everything stated in this truth affidavit is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And all stated is true, correct, complete, and not misleading. No third parties allowed. Now, no third parties allowed means that the only people that can be speaking on this is going to be people that have first-hand knowledge. So the judge is out of the picture, the prosecutor is out of the picture. It's just pretty much going to have to be between you and whoever's making the claim. So nobody's going to be allowed to speak on this that was not an actual first-hand witness. So that's the no third parties allowed. On top of the fact that courts are just third-party collectors in all reality. So I don't see why Title 15 wouldn't actually apply here, considering the fact that it's actually a commercial matter, right? So the plain statement about the facts. For resolving a matter, it must be expressed in commerce. Truth is sovereign. Truth is expressed in the affidavit form. An unrebutted affidavit stands as truth in commerce after 30 days. An unrebutted affidavit becomes the judgment in commerce. A truth affidavit under commercial law can only be satisfied by a rebuttal about the truth affidavit, by payment, by agreement, by resolution by a jury, according by the rules of common law. A lawful contract: 1, offer; 2, consideration; 3, acceptance by all parties for the contract; and 4, the signatures by all parties involved with the contract. Only the parties signing the contract can participate in the discussion on the contract. Full disclosure about the contract is imperative. So here it goes on a list. So it says actual events. The following is an example. On April 10, 2002, about 2 p.m., Officer Busybody stopped me on the highway without my permission or without a contract to do so. 2, Officer Busybody stopped me without a contract in violation of my right to travel. Now they have to address your right to travel if they want to rebut anything. Officer Busybody, without a contract, forced me to show identification and proof of insurance, license, and registration, and violated my right to privacy, right? Asking you for all of that personal information with your address on it, and there was no crime committed, there was no victim. 4, Officer Busybody made many legal determinations without a license to practice law, right? What's the law that you're supposedly pulling me over for that I'm pretty sure cannot even state? Right? Because you don't got to be a genius to be a cop. You just got to be able to hold a gun in your fucking belt, apparently. So, Officer Busybody did not have and did not show his ID card verifying him to be a registered policeman. So you don't even know if he's a cop, right? So what's he gonna do if you tell him to show you his ID? Like, let me see your license. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna show me your license with all your private information on it, bro? I don't even fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's happening, right? Officer Busybody, absent his hat, was out of uniform and therefore masquerading as a policeman. They have to be in full uniform. They have to have their business card. They have to have their badge with their name ready for you to see. They have to be in full fucking uniform because they're the servant, right? So get in the habit of asking these people all of this shit, right? So Officer Busybody approached my private conveyance with his hand on his gun and forced me under threat, duress, and coercion to sign his offer of contract. Cause number, whatever it may be on the ticket or whatever it is there. Notice to principal is notice to agents, and notice to agents is notice to principals. This document was prepared by place, real man's name here, so that's going to be you. Place the fiction's name there. So I did my own version of this too in one of the cases I had a couple years back too. I mean, I didn't want to show it because it's got personal information on it, but so I took this concept and it came out fucking awesome. So that's what you got here. And so little by little, I'm gonna put together the documents that I used on my own cases, and awesome stuff there. I mean, whatever I can edit out, I will. But for the most part, it's either gonna be copies like this that I used as a template in order to create my own, which you should get in the habit of doing anyway, and use that. And I mean, it works fine. And so, I mean, ultimately, you know, if you look at it like a game of chess, the point is to back them into a corner to where they can't run anywhere either. And so, I actually offer a service too, where you contract with your state officials directly with a private contract that's notarized, so it's actually valid in the public as well. So what you're doing with that one contract is you're putting them in a position where they can't even go private because. You know, they can get away with certain things in the public because they're operating under a DBA, under a doing business as. So it kind of blocks them from being liable in the private. So, but when you send this to them directly, privately, it's gonna qualify in both realms. So it'll both qualify in common law and also in equity as well. And so those are things that you want to get in the habit of having prior to having any problems, so you don't have any fucking problems. Or if you do, you know, you have your remedy there. You can go there and you can get paid too, because part of the contracts that we send to these people is our fee schedule as well, right? And so what it is a constitutional challenge. And so you're sending them an affidavit as well that they cannot rebut because it's part of even the contract that they signed to become a public servant in the first place. They have to sign an oath to uphold the state constitution. So what you're doing is a state constitutional challenge, and so you can only enforce private rights through a contract because these people are not allowed to speak on private rights. So you have to address your private rights in a contract with them in order for it to be able to even be heard in court. That's how fucked up it is, but that's what it is. That's what's happening, is that we're failing to do our due diligence. Ultimately, you know what I mean? So that's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.